So this video is all about two Israeli classics, Galil ARM against the Tavor SAR or TAR-21 in Israel. Both these rifles had a pretty short service life within the IDF, but they did see action with the IDF. And in this video, I will be testing shootability, meaning which rifle facilitates the fastest and most accurate shooting. So let's get into Galil versus Tavor right now. Okay, first up, before we cut to the range footage of which gun shoots best, let's talk about these rifles a little bit. Now, the Galil ARM came out in the early 70s and was used up until about the mid-80s with the IDF. This would see action numerous times in southern Lebanon in the late 70s going into the early 80s. This video clip right here, this is from 1985 in southern Lebanon. So this gun did see action or combat numerous times with some frontline units of the IDF. Now, the rifle itself, it's pretty heavy. 9.6 pounds without this optic, and for a 5.56 rifle, that's definitely on the heavy scale, and that is one reason why this rifle did not last long within the IDF. It's just a heavy gun. The other reason why it did not last long is the cost of manufacturing this rifle. It could not compete with the M16s and later M4s that we were selling on the cheap to the IDF. So soldiers wanted a lighter gun. They got that with M16s and later M4s. And again, the cost of just manufacturing this. Now, this optic on the front, I'm going to put a link down in the description. I've already done a video on this. This is a Elbit Falcon Mark I, the first generation red dot sight. It was purpose built for the Galil. Pretty rare optic, and this mount, the Galil mount, is even rarer. I'm probably one of the only guys in the United States that has a real Galil mount. Purpose built for the Galil, never issued on the Galil due to the weight. They actually ended up holding onto these, and when they went to M16s and M4s in the early 80s, they changed up the mount and they mounted them on M16s and M4s, as you can see in this photo right here. So 9.6 pounds with this Elbit Falcon, which is almost a pound. I mean, this gun is well over 10 pounds, and that's pretty heavy for a 5.56 rifle. All right, out on the range, all dressed up in the spirit of this video with an authentic IDF vehicle crewman's assault chest harness. Holds 5 AR-15 or M4 mags in the front, and it's got some cargo pouches here in the back. Now, the Galil is a heavy gun. It's one of the heaviest guns I own, especially for 5.56, but the weight does help with the recoil. This gun settles very fast due to the overall heavy weight. There's basically no recoil. Let's shoot some splits, and you can see basically the muzzle does not rise. Now, this rifle right here, it's not a real Galil. It's actually an ATI Galeo. I got a few years back. One nuance about ATI Galeos: they're purpose-built to only fit TAPCO Galil mags. And if you want to run authentic Galil mags, you've got to either modify the back of the magazine well to get the mag to rock in and fit, or like I did, you've got to modify the back of the magazine. Now, why did ATI choose to do this? Well, they say it's for two reasons. One, for compliance, they're counting the magazine as one US part for the total count of US parts in the gun. And two, for reliability. They don't want people jamming in old, crappy Galil mags, not running and hurting the reputation of the gun. And it's true. Original Galil mags, the specs on these are all over the place. Now, for me, I chose not to modify the magazine well. I've modified a few Galil mags. If you take some metal off the back, they will run. And before the ATF comes and breaks down my door because I changed the number of US parts in this gun, I actually changed out the op rod to a K&S adjustable piston. Yes, K&S does make one. It works great in the Galil. You can turn down the gas a little bit. For my test for shootability against the Tavor SAR, I did lock out the gas all the way, so it's getting full gas like a normal op rod. So moving on to the Tavor SAR or TAR-21, course, it's a bullpup rifle, weighs in about 7.9 pounds with nothing on it. Entered service with the IDF in 2001, would see action in southern Lebanon and in Operation Cast Lead in 2008 in Gaza. But this rifle, again, a short service life, was phased out in 2009 in favor of what we know as the Tavor X95, which is a little bit shorter bullpup with a few changes on it. Now, speaking specifically about the Tavor SAR, it hit the U.S. market in 2012. I was there at SHOT Show when it first came out. I was super excited about getting one, but I will say this about this bullpup rifle. It comes with the worst trigger I've ever felt. Mine broke at 12 pounds. There's creep purposely built into the trigger itself. So to get even a decent, feasible trigger, you're going to have to replace it with a upgraded trigger pack, and I say put in the Galil trigger bow in there. And with that, you're going to be about $400 deep into what you paid for the Tavor just to get a decent trigger. Your trigger packs go for around $250 to $300, and your Galil trigger bow, that's about $100. Also, the original rail that comes on the Tavor SAR sits too low for most of your US style optics. It was built for Meprolite sights and the Mars sight, which sit a lot higher on the gun. If you put an EOTech or an Aimpoint or a standard scope mount with the original rail, you have to really crunch your face down behind the buttstock. I replaced the rail with a Gearhead Works short Razorback rail. And again, that's going to set you back about another $100 or so. So just to get this gun feasible out the gate, you're going to be in it for about $400. Now, this rifle, I also upgraded the muzzle. This is a Surefire closed-tine war comp, and I changed out the original butt pad. It comes with a straight butt pad. I put this curved butt pad on it. So I did a few modifications really just to get this gun feasible. Now, of course, I'm a lefty, so I did buy this gun left-hand eject. I didn't have to convert it over. All right, I've got the Tavor SAR. Now, it's not as heavy as the Galil, but it's heavier than your standard AR-15 or M4. Now, the ergonomics, I like the ergonomics. I like the mag release. That's why I got this over an X95. And with training, you can get used to it. Now, it's heavier than an M4 and an AR as a bullpup, but this does point very fast. I think the biggest thing holding this rifle back is the recoil. While it is short, it's very sharp. Now, this gun is overgassed. It's overgassed for reliability, they say, but I don't really believe in that. I think guns are overgassed, properly gassed, or undergassed. So very short, sharp recoil. Let me shoot some splits. Now, as you can see, I painted this up just to give it a cool, unique look. And this Elbit Falcon on here, this is actually a Mark II. It's a later generation, came out in the middle 90s and was for commercial sales only. You can still find these on gun forums and on eBay every once in a while for sale. Came with numerous different mounts, any Weaver mount that will fit most rails. And I threw a Surefire light on here just to, give it more of a tactical look. This is actually my bump in the night gun. If somebody comes into the house at night and I need a gun up, this is actually what I consider my home defense gun. One thing handy about bullpups, you don't need an SBR tax stamp to take it anywhere you want. So if I am going to travel out of state, I want to have a rifle with me, this is the one that actually goes with me, this setup right here, just because, hey, bullpups are compact. All right, here we go, my Galil or ATI Galeo. The drill is 9-shot drill, 3 targets, 3 shots each, starting in the center first. Let's see what I got. I threw 1C, but I think I have a decent time. Oh, actually a little slow, 316 and a C. That's actually pretty dismal. It seems I can't escape C's this morning. 2 C's, a 2.83, that puts me at a 3.83. It's even worse this time. So not a very good start with the Galil or Galeo. I'm going to paste up these targets and let's go to the Tavor. All right, 9-shot drill with the Tavor SAR. Let's see what I can do. I'm clean. Clean with a 308. Let's do round 2. Woo, that felt pretty good. And I'm clean. 301, just outside the 3-second par. Look at the targets real quick. I'm clean. All right, the drill is 15 rounds of Fury, 5 shots from 20, 5 shots from 10, 5 shots moving forward. Par time with an AR is 9 seconds or under. Let's see how well I do with the Galil. Let's do it. Might be a little slow, but I'm clean. Just over par with a 982, and I'm clean. All right, since I shot a clean run, I did not repaste the target. Same thing, 15 rounds of Fury. Let's do the Tavor. I'm clean again. And again, just over par, a 929. All right, for those with an eagle eye, you might have noticed I might be wearing body armor. That's because I am. I have a Safe Life vest underneath this shirt. I plan on doing a full video about this concealable body armor in an upcoming video. So I was actually surprised by these results. I've shot both these guns a lot. Both these rifles make appearances in some of my early videos here on my channel, so I'm well versed. The Galil, because it has extremely soft shooting recoil and it has a pretty great stock trigger in it, this gun settles very fast. I assumed it would beat the Tavor in every drill, which was not the case. In fact, the Tavor, as you saw, both runs of the 9-shot drill, it came out ahead. And on the 15 rounds of Fury, this was a 929 against the Galil, which came out in a 982. So it just edged out the Galil. Now, softer recoil. The recoil on the Tavor is harsher. So why did the Tavor win? Well, I think it has to do with the weight of the Galil. One thing about Tavors is they do, or all bullpups in general, they do point very fast due to the design. And even with the harsh recoil, when you're driving from target to target in the 9-shot drill, it just points and it's right there for you. With the Galil, because of the excessive weight, and especially because I have this Elbit Falcon mounted up on the Galil, it's very front heavy. When you're driving from target to target, this gun wants to overswing, and I was fighting to guide it on target and break shots when it's settling in the A zone. And as you saw from my score, I shot a lot of Cs. Cs are half a second, so driving this gun was a lot more difficult. So when it came down to it, excessive recoil with the Tavor against a gun that's hard to manipulate from target to target, well, the Tavor, I was able to manage the recoil just enough to beat out the Galil. So yes, the Tavor is the winner on every drill. Now, as I am making this video, I just got this in. This is from Southern Tactical. This is their Battlefield Pickup Galil SAR. Just got it, have not put a single round through it yet. But once I get some rounds through this bad boy, look for a full review sometime here in the future on my channel. So for shootability, at least at close range, the Tavor SAR is the victor over the Galil. Now, for my shootability series, and this is the second episode, I'm going to be doing a running tally of all the different rifles and how they stack up against each other. using the 9-shot drill at 5 yards as the metric. Now, the Galil came in at a 3.66 with hits factored in, the Tavor SAR at a 3.01. Now, the first episode of Shootability was SIG 556, which is just over my shoulder against a stock-ish AR. Now, the SIG 556 came in at a 2.65 on the 9-shot drill. And right now, the current champ is the closest thing I have to a stock AR, which I shot the 9-shot drill version 1. I did it in a 260 with this rifle right here, and it's got an old school Gen 1 or Mark 1 Elbit Falcon from the early 80s on there. So 260 is the time to beat on the 9-shot drill. So hopefully you found this video, as always, entertaining and informative. I will be doing future shootability episodes, different guns going against each other. And stay tuned for a full video on Safe Life body armor. That will be my next video coming up here in the next week or so. But as always, I'm Jeff Gerwich. Thanks for watching.